Hey classmates, my name is Nicholas Rollins. I'm out here at my annual training in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm painting the Henderson Armory on Henderson Way. I'm for the 240th Engineering Company. I have behind the camera another friend of mine, Private Melina Salinas, that's going to help me today. What we're doing all together is we are going to refurbish the building. What the process of that is we have to take any old paint that we had off. We're going to scrape that off. We have to either pressure wash it or grind it right off. I'll show you that tools in just a minute. Also on top of that, any windows or doors, any door frames, anything like that, you have to tape up with tape all around it just to make sure you don't get any excess paint on there. That way everything stays the color that you exactly want. As soon as everything is taped up and then we have everything grinded off to a perfect level surface, then we are going to take a painter, just spray paint pretty much, and that's going to go all over the area in that new color that you want. Really easy process, and I'll come over here and show you all the equipment that you'll be using today as far as what you're going to be wearing on yourself and what equipment we'll be using to get this job done. What we're going to be wearing on ourselves today is PPE. That stands for Personal Protective Equipment. That's going to be anywhere from your head to your toe to make sure you're protected. Today we have steel toe boots on, which just make sure if anything falls, you fall off a ladder, you at least have those steel toes so you're not breaking any toes today. On top of that, we have a hard hat. Just make sure that when you're up on any type of ladder, anything high, if you accidentally fall, anything like that, you're also protected. If anything drops on top of you, you also have, protection there as well. We also have this eye pro here for when we're spray painting on the walls. We're going to have anything coming towards our eyes, we're going to be blocked. We're also going to wear ear pro when it starts just because it's a loud noise to make sure everything's covered. So on top of that, we also have the respiratory. We're going to wear this on top of it. That's just going to make sure that our lungs are protected because there might be lead inside of the paint. That way there's nothing bad on top of it. It just goes right over. You're going to wear it just like this. The tools that we're going to be actually using today are, we have a few ladders, we have some paint brushes. We usually have also a machine that sprays water on the wall called a pressure washer. We're going to start out with the two types of ladders that we have today. We have the extended ladder, which that is when you have to get up high in any areas there, you just make sure to be able to get on that. And then we also have the A ladder. That ladder is for anything down below. It's just a little bit more sturdy. That way you're not falling, anything like that. The extension ladder, you always need a safety at the bottom. That way, if anything, wobbly or anything like that, you always have someone on the bottom there. On top of these, you also have your first step, which is the grinder. It's an easy tool. You just make sure to make the entire wall level. Anything of the old paint, you're going to want to make sure to get off. That way, we don't have any chipping on that new paint there. There's also a tool, like I said, called the pressure washer, which we usually use, but unfortunately ours is broken today, so I can't show you, but what I can do is kind of tell you about it. What happens is you take it on the wall, and it's very high-pressured water, that's all it is. It uses gas, everything like that, and it usually takes off all that paint chips that you have there. The next step after you take all of that off the wall is what we call really just taping up the wall. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring you right over here, and we're just going to show you a little bit about that. Alright, while taping, the reason we do this is we don't want any tape on top of this light here. I'm just going to show you a quick example of what to do. So you just take any plastic bag, anything that doesn't matter, newspaper, whatever you have handy, and blue tape. So what you do is you take it around, you just cover it up, make sure it's real snug there, and you throw some tape over it. That way when we're painting over all this, it just gets the bag. We don't care about the bag, but we do care about the light. That way the light doesn't have anything on it. We'll come back to that and tape that up later. Okay, this is the last part of the project here. What this is actually the painting process, which is the last part. So, the first thing you do is overnight, you always want to store it in any water. The reason for the water is just anything like this hose can easily get paint all inside it and it'll never work again. So you always dunk it inside water overnight, make sure that everything is good there. When you're ready to use it in the morning, you come over here, grab the paint, you make sure to stir it really well, make sure that everything is looking great. There's nothing that looks like any hard chips or anything like that inside the paint. For the actual paint machine, we have two options. We prime it and we spray it. You always start off with prime, make sure that you have all the pressure inside the hose, that way you get everything to the wall just like you want to make it real pretty. We have two hoses here, both of which are making sure that we get the paint from the bucket inside the machine. The machine goes to this hose where you actually spray it from here. So we're going to take this machine, it might get a little bit loud here, but we're going to try to videotape over that. We're going to start it onto the prime mode, which will get that PSI going inside the machine. As you can see, right now it's still making sure that all the paint is inside, and this will still come out as water. While this finishes priming, we're going to go over to the ladder and make sure everything is looking good on the safety side. So right now we're on the A-step ladder. We have private fender up here. We're just doing a little bit of the scraping that we were talking about earlier, making sure everything is level on that older paint. Anything that we did paint, we have to go over once again, make sure everything looks really pretty. We have private McKay down here, making sure that the ladder is stable. You always have a safety at the bottom in case anything goes wrong. And from there, we will show you the painting process in just a moment. So now I'm going to show you a little bit of the pressure washing and the painting process. Overall, I did this project because I thought it would be a good opportunity to show you out in the field what's going on. I was out here for annual training, so I got the chance to actually do something here. It was a great experience, and I hope you learned a lot from this. Thank you. This is the pressure washer. The hose feeds water from the spigot into the machine. It's a gas or machine, air cooled. Pull the cord, water pump, spray it out to the nozzle there. For those of you who never heard about a pressure washer, the water pressure is so intense it can literally take your fingers off if you get hit with it. This is the 6K Army vehicle. Basically, it's 6 tons of metal, and it can also lift 6 tons of metal. It's basically a gigantic forklift. While it's going up and over, the pressure wash the wall. So lift it, you guys know. Alright, so when you start painting, you want to give yourself a good distance away from the wall. If you're too close, the paint's going to pile on up, start dripping on down. It's going to dry like that, it's not going to be even. So, you get your footing from the distance. The nice, steady strokes. Go up, down, left to right. Make everything even. As you can see, the first layer never comes out even. That's why you do two.
that's your intro into painting. Alright, so goodbye. Have a good day from the 240th. Oh!